question is, what comes first? Your customers, your team, your investors? And actually, we think a lot about that in this organization. And the answer actually is, we think of the house first. We think of top of the hill first. Because if we think of top of the hill first, truly what is best for the house, then we're going to serve all those other constituencies the best. And I think that you could go off the rails and even taking that idea of, hey, I'm thinking about the house. So more specifically, I tell my managers, I tell my team that if you can honestly look at me in the eye and say, I made this decision with the long-term best interests of the house in mind, I will never get angry with you. I mean, maybe I'll think you're wrong, and we'll talk about how maybe it should be different or whatever, but I don't think that you can rank investors versus customers versus the team. You can't, because it without all three of those, you're in trouble, right? But the intersection of those three is the actual establishment itself. And so if you can unbiasedly say what is in the best long-term interest of the house, then I think you can look any of those constituencies in the eye and say, well, this is why we're doing this. The conventional wisdom is the customer's always right. I don't believe that, okay? And I think anyone that's been in the restaurant business has the story of where the customer was wrong. But you definitely have to go in with that bias that the customer is always right. There are the unique and rare moments where the customer can be so out of line that they're not right. But, you know, it's not just tie goes to the runner. You know, the customer is safe at home 2 or 3 body lengths away from the plate. But at some point, you know, hey, no, we got to think about the staff, or we got to think about our investors or whatever as well. And I think that anybody that's worth having as a customer will appreciate and respect that as well. Partners have been fantastic for me. Partners have been a disaster for me. Some partners that were fantastic have turned into disasters and turned back into fantastic. Joseph Smith, what I call, quote unquote, my restaurant partner, he talks about that a partnership is like a marriage, but it's actually worse because you can't get divorced. And there's a certain truth to that. And that may seem like a funny way to put it, but you know, you need to really, really spend as much or more time thinking about who you're going into business with as a partner as you would thinking about who you're going to ask to be your spouse. Because there are going to be good times, there are going to be bad times, there's going to be, you know, issues about money, there's going to be all these things, and you need to make sure that you can trust that person and that you've got the same values. And going back to this idea of putting the house first, that your partner is willing to put him or herself in a subordinate role to the establishment. And that would be the litmus test. If the person is talking about me, and money, and blah, 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 I'm not so sure I'd go into business with them. If the person's talking about, I really want to create something that's going to last, I can't wait to be part of this, and you know what, I think we can make some good money doing it too, that's what I'd look for.